Hello and welcome to another episode of R&DW Adventures. I'm Renee.
And I'm Darryl. And today we're back at the Michigan Airline Trail for some more geocaching, this time without the non-geo pub. As much as we'd like to.
He thought he was coming today.
Yeah, he just does not do very well on these filming days especially. But we're back today for our next souvenir in the Memory Lane promotion. And just to remind you guys what those are, we'll throw them up on the screen. We did get our first one at the 10 points. We're currently at 15. We've got to find 7 more caches at 5 points apiece to get that next one.
I think we can do that.
I think we can do that. And why don't we just start off on the trail, and we'll talk to you guys more about what we're doing and a little bit of our memories in the process. So as we start down the trail here for our first find of the day, we wanted to kind of talk about what's going on here. So the souvenir is about the first Geocoin, which there's a lot of debate on who that is. Mountain Bike is generally given credit for it, and I actually have one of his coins somewhere. But both of us are a little bit too, in a healthy way, into our Geocoins.
Yes.
But we do indeed. But it is all about the trackables and what they do, so we asked some of our friends to share their thoughts. Why don't we start with this video from Seemyshell?
G'day guys, my name is Craig, also known as Seemyshell, and today Renee and Darryl have asked me to talk to you regarding my favourite memory of a trackable. I've got plenty of trackables and I just made a video about it as well, but meanwhile this is my favourite one right here in my hot little hand, and it is the Cache-Advance and Joshua, the Geocaching Vloggers Geo Challenge coin. The reason why this is memorable for me is because I met Josh for the first time all the way over in Cincinnati, USA, that's right, Australia to Cincinnati, and we had a good chat and a conversation, and he gave me this particular coin, so that is the reason why this one here is so memorable to me. Now if you want the code, it's Charlie Alpha Foxtrot Delta Charlie Zulu Charlie Alpha Foxtrot Delta Charlie Zulu. Discover it. Thanks guys.
You know, that story from Seemyshell made me think about a coin that I have in my collection. It sits behind me every week when I do the show, and that's this Geotalk coin. It's a buddy of mine from Australia as well, Darren Osborne, better known as Spin Doc Bob, who unfortunately passed away. So it did give me a good memory, and thank you for reminding me, Craig, about this coin, because that was a nice memory. PC 7Q6F for anyone who wants to discover, and we'll of course drop that on the screen. But there's a lot of these great trackable stories that are coming from our buddies, and we've got Joshua, Geocaching Vlogger, that referred us to a video that he did and asked us to drop in some footage where one of his viewers created a pair of trackables, sent them from the Netherlands.
Fun.
I believe that's where he said they were.
I think so.
But he sent those out. They arrived at an event near him, and he actually walked to an island on the ice and snow to drop them in another cache.
Wow.
What an experience that is.
That's really cool.
That is so awesome. But make sure to go and click on the link to go and check out his full video, because that is really a fun, cool story.
That's really cool.
But we got another buddy that I asked to send us something, and that's Scott Burks, who's now doing the Geocaching Podcast, but also had done the Chicago Geocacher Podcast back in the day. And this is his 100th show coin. So that's GSDVGQ. Of course, we'll link to that in the, or drop
Post
that on here, yeah. But he also sent us this one.
Hey Darryl and Renee, I got a great trackable story for you. So around 2009, I created a trackable and I put it out there, and it traveled for a number of months, and then somebody took it out and I never heard from it again. And then I emailed the person who had it and never heard a response. Well, I figured, all right, trackable's gone. It's gone for good. So I marked it as missing and into the unknown and went out about my life. So about 5 years later, so we're looking now about 2014, I got an email from a woman on geocaching.com. It says, I was, my son used to cache, I cache. I was going through his caching bag. I found this trackable. Do you want me to put it out in the wild? I was floored that this woman found my trackable sitting in someone's backpack for 5 years. I said, absolutely put it back there. Put it back out. So she's like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. So I see she dropped it in a cache. And 3 days later, the cache was muggled. And I know that because 4 days later, someone sent me an email saying, hey, the cache was destroyed. Your trackable is no longer in it. So as you can imagine, it's sat in a bag for 5 years, is out in the wild for 3 days, and it's gone. That's the worst yet best trackable story I have.
What Scott was talking about with the trackables going missing happens all the time, and that's why you don't see many geocoins left in caches anymore. People just don't trust putting them out because they're going to disappear. And I saw a lot of that kind of stuff happen because we have these Cache Maniacs coins that we had released with a lot of our old podcast episodes. So every time we did an interview, we sent the interviewee one with the information about how to get to their coin or their show that was recorded. So it was a cool way to promote the show, do some stuff like that. If the person didn't keep it in their possession, it went missing. So we've got hundreds of those that have gone missing. It's kind of sad.
That is sad. So when you asked me to think about my favorite trackable, it was really hard because I've come across so many really super cool ones. But I think my favorite comes with this unhealthy addiction that Darryl feeds into a lot, whether it's collecting pins or coins or
just collectibles
in general. He bought me this really cool charm bracelet. So it's got a whole bunch of teeny tiny little trackables, and they're adorable, and I can take them with me. I didn't take them on the trails because that's probably not a good idea, but I can take them just about everywhere else with me, and I love them.
So that's going to do it for this fun outing. Not a bad morning into early afternoon. We got enough caches to get our souvenir, which is all we cared about, but we're at 65. Well on our way to the next one. But we love these trackable stories. They're awesome. Fun. They're a lot of fun. Send us your favorite tracking story. Just drop it in the comments below.
And one lucky winner, we'll choose one lucky person to receive a trackable in the mail as soon as we finally get ours.
Yeah, and you can do that anytime before July 1st, and keep watching. We'll announce who that is, and then you can get in touch with us, and we'll send that up to you off in the mail, and hopefully they won't lose it like they've been losing everything else for us lately. So stay subscribed and hit the geocaching playlist down here in the corner for a lot more of this type of content.